good morning. We have been doing a research and working on a promotional campaign, and we've looked at the different strategies on how to get more bookings for the Waterside restaurant, and this is what we've gathered so far. Our main objective is to increase the number of bookings in the restaurant, and so starting from our target audience, this is what we've thought to start with, to gather the best possible strategies to increase the bookings.
Our target audience will be ages from 16 to 20, because we think that'll be the main margin of people in the college. So if they can they'll have friendship groups, and that'll be good with social networking, and word of mouth as well, so they can spread the Waterside restaurant and say, yeah, I had a nice meal there, so then a friend will think, well, if it's nice, then they'll be interested to come. And then
our advantage was that in this college we have a diverse students from many backgrounds, and we have quite a lot of students. So this is why we thought it's good to aim for students, because they're in the college, they're here every day, or most of the time anyway, and you know, once they have a good experience at the restaurant, they can pass it on through conversation, whether if it's really, you know, initiating that it's a nice restaurant to go have dinner or lunch with. It still can be mentioned through word of mouth. We've also thought to consider what the concerns could be for students, and that could be many things. The age range is quite up and down, really. 16 to we've got mature students as well. So yeah, anyone would really be interested.
the benefits is that the customer, they won't have to leave site and go into town or go in a car or something, or a bus. They can just have a nice restaurant meal and then go back to their lesson or wait outside their lesson. So they won't have to be late for lesson, plus they can still get a good value for money and a high standard, and like the atmosphere of being in a restaurant is quite nice, better than being in like a school canteen or something. And then the prices are cheap as well. Like we looked at the menu, and I think for a buffet or something, for 3 meals it's like £10 or something. And I mean, most main dishes at restaurants are about £9–10 anyway, so for the same price you can get a whole meal.
We did also think of another, because obviously the prices on the menu are already discounted, so we thought it would be a good idea to have the original prices on there, just so that people can see and compare. Like when you go shopping, you can see that the was price, and then you see the now price, and once you see how much it actually was and how much it is now, it makes you want to buy it even more. There is a sort of an urge to buy it because people want to bargain, and that's the idea that we've come up with. We didn't actually get a menu and do it ourselves because we didn't know what the prices were precisely, but we did make a poster that just to attract as many people as possible, and we thought it'd be a good idea to have it maybe in the hall or somewhere outside, so people can actually see that there is a restaurant, because not a lot of people know that there is a restaurant in the college. They know that there is a cafe and there's the lounge area, but they don't know that there's an actual restaurant. And I think, you know, it's attractive because they can see how it looks like inside, as we've taken pictures and put them on here, and then they can have a look at the menu if they're passing by, and you know, if they're rushing to class or just casually passing by, they can still have a look without having to go inside, because when you enter the restaurant, it's very the atmosphere is very cool and chilled out. So I'm sure many students don't want to, you know, in groups or even with a buddy, don't want to go in there and sort of they don't really have that. They don't want to go in and disturb, basically, because they can. Well, that's how we felt anyway, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't want to go inside and bother people if they're not going to sit down and have a meal. And a customer feedback form as well. Just they didn't have one, so we thought, maybe that's a way that they can find out. Maybe they need some ways that they can improve in certain areas. Maybe they can have something more interesting on their menu. Not saying that they don't, but yeah, just to actually find out what students want, because that it's a bit different from what the teachers would want, or the staff. And also the loyalty card.
We created a loyalty card.
Yeah.
We created a loyalty card as we thought most restaurants and sort of coffee shops and stuff have them now. We think, well, if we offer like discounts every 4 or 5 times they come back, we think, well, that's going to make people want to come back. So then we created that after three purchases you get a free hot drink or beverage, and after 6 you get a free dessert, and then after 10 you get a free side order or sandwich snack sort of thing, and then after 12 you get a half price on your bill, and then on the 15th and the final one you get a free main course. So we sort of, the more you come, the more the value of it works up.
Just to keep them loyal. Thank you. I forgot to mention that we've actually also created a Twitter account. The Waterside restaurant does already have a Facebook, but they don't have a Twitter account, which is slightly different, because you can actually there's like I think 146 characters, and that's enough to get a message across to people. It's not too much and it's not too little, and it's very easy. You don't have to log into Facebook and see loads of pictures popping up. It's another alternative way to promote through social media, which a lot of students are already on. And we've also followed OCVC, and I think we send out a couple of tweets.
Yeah, we sent out a few tweets as well.
Yeah, and then the key message is to attract more people and also keep them. As many as possible, and
we spoke to Anne-Marie, I think it was. She's the assistant manager of the restaurant, and she said, like, it's not that they're doing badly, it's just that not enough people going in there. And then we spoke to them about opening times, because I think they're open from 12 to 1:30. And for people around college, like, the timetables are all different for the different courses. We thought maybe making a bigger margin, so that sort of the lunchtime rush is bigger, so that they might get more customers. And then, but she said that's something I have to follow up, because students cooking with meals obviously have like lessons that they need to sort of do as well as just cooking the food for the people.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Again, no, thank you for the very varied visual sort of stuff that we had here.